Hello, I'm Taylour Tedder, City Manager for Boulder City, and welcome to the latest episode of Tedder Talks, a once-a-month look at issues and people impacting Boulder City. The Boulder City general election is approaching. City Clerk Tami McKay is here to discuss some important details before you vote. Welcome, Tami. Thanks for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
So first and foremost, let's discuss registration. How can someone register to vote or check if they have an up-to-date voter registration?
If you've missed the deadline of October 11th to register in person at the City Clerk's office, you still have many opportunities. There are 3 different websites. You can go to our website at www.bcnv.org and it will direct you to the state's website. Or easiest is to go to clarkcountynv.gov/vote or registertovote.nv.gov.
Wow, so there's a lot of options.
There's a lot of options.
Great.
And just one thing to note, if you register to vote online October 12th through the 25th, it won't be necessary to bring your ID when you go to vote. But if you register online the 26th through November 8th, 2022, you will be required to bring your ID the first time you go to vote.
So how can residents see a ballot before they go to the polls?
Well, they should have already received by now their ballots, and I'm just going to show you an example.
Sure.
This should have come in the mail. This is your sample ballot, and this year you will also receive a mail ballot supplement. This has all of the Boulder City questions in it and state questions.
Great.
And if you've opted for online service, you should have received it in your email by now. And if you don't have it for any reason, please feel free to contact the City Clerk's office at 702-293-9208 or stop by our office because we have extra sample ballots no matter where you live, Boulder City, Henderson, Las Vegas, and North Las Vegas.
Nice, that's a great service. I know I did get mine in the mail, so I've read through them and they're very helpful.
They are very helpful.
There are several ways to submit a ballot. Can you tell us about those options?
To submit a ballot, yes. So everybody, during the 2021 legislative session, they made Nevada an all-mail ballot state, which means you are going to receive a mail ballot unless you've opted out of receiving a mail ballot. And you can either submit it by the prepaid postage envelope that was included in it, or you can drop it off at the City Clerk's office during our regular hours, Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., at any early voting site or on election day at a vote center. And keep in mind, in Nevada, it doesn't matter where you live, any registered Clark County voter can vote or drop off their mail ballot at any location.
Great. So while we're talking about the actual physical voting, where can you go and when for early voting?
So early voting in Clark County begins on October 22nd and ends November 4th. For a complete listing, I'm going to show you in your sample ballot because there are numerous locations. If you look at your sample ballot and you go to page 7, it will begin with all of the different locations throughout Clark County. But in Boulder City specifically, the dates are November 1st through November 4th. And the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, it's at the Rec Center, 900 Arizona Street from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And on the 4th, same location, but 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And if you don't have your sample ballot with you at the time, you're always welcome to call the City Clerk's office, or you can go on to the Clark County's Election Department webpage.
Here in Boulder City, when and where can people vote on Election Day?
So they can vote in person at 2 different locations. Our vote centers are the Parks and Recreation Center at 900 Arizona Street or Martha P. King Elementary at 888 Adams Boulevard.
And anyone can go to either?
Anyone can go to either.
Okay.
And as a reminder, they really can go to any location even outside of Boulder City.
Oh, great.
Yes.
So if someone works in Henderson or Las Vegas, they can
Correct.
go there.
Or vice versa. Some of our
Great.
employees who live in Henderson or Las Vegas can also vote in Boulder City.
We won't know the final tally until almost 2 weeks after the election. Can you tell us a little bit about why that is?
Yes, again, going back to becoming an all-mail ballot state, people have an opportunity to mail their ballot on Election Day up until the deadline of 7 p.m. So we have to allow enough time to cure all the signatures. So day by day, the election department actually physically goes to the post office, the main post office, picks up all the ballots, and then they have to cure all the signatures. And the last day to cure signatures is November 14th. So that's the delay because everything is mailed.
So we already know that here in Boulder City, the voters already elected the mayor and one council seat in the June primary. So how did that process happen, and who do we have left?
During the June 14th election, we had two candidates that were actually elected in the primary. That was Joe Hardy and Steve Walton. And that happened because in Section 96 of our Boulder City Charter, any candidate who received votes equal to or a majority of voters casting ballots in that election is declared elected. So just for an example, there were 5,159 ballots cast. So anybody receiving more than 2,580 votes was declared elected. And that was Joe Hardy, who received 3,272 votes, and Steve Walton, who received 2,874 votes. So left on the ballot for the general election is James Howard Adams and Cokie Booth. And then Boulder City also has 3 questions.
So we have our mayor-elect, councilman-elect, and then we'll have the one more council person.
Correct.
At least for our city government here in Boulder City.
Yes.
So when do Boulder City's newly elected officials take office?
They will be sworn into office on November 22nd, 2022 at 5 p.m. at our city council meeting.
Thanks, Tami. We really appreciate your dedication and the work of your staff. You guys do great work.
Thank you. We appreciate it. And just as a reminder to all of our residents, every vote counts. Election day is November 8th, 2022.
Be sure to check out Tedder Talks once a month at bcnv.org/Tedder. Thank you for tuning in, and see you next month for the next Tedder Talks.